is Allie Bear, the Gaming Bear here, and today we are back with another episode of Planet Reptile. And today we are building the bug house. Now, let me tell you, I spent several days, I'm talking weeks, not weeks, probably like a good week, 5 days building this. And I built it 4 different times. I made my own blueprint, I put it down, and then I couldn't get the flooring to line up correctly, nor could I build a ceiling for it. And then I was like, okay, well, let me try it this way that you guys are watching right now. And I finally got this down and got it to where I wanted it to be. And I was very happy with how it turned out. But yeah, this was a lot of work, and it took a very, very long time. Though I am very happy that I finally am able to get this video done and uploaded, and that I was able to get the final product out, because like I said, it was a whole thing, and there's no reason it should have been the way that it was. But anyway, so I went with what I thought was a nice little dome structure. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try a little round building instead of a square one like I've been doing. And I think it turned out pretty good. I will say, again, it took me a very long time. But I am very happy with how it turned out, and I think that the next exhibit buildings, I will be definitely taking this similar idea to build them, but I might just do it a little different. Here I was just playing around with different styles of roofs, because I wanted to try something a little different. I'm just different. But again, it didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, unfortunately. And you'll see where I get at some point. I finally get to an idea that I like. This was not working for me. This one specifically was not, because it was not on a grid, and I needed to be on a grid, and I don't know why it wasn't on a grid. I don't know what piece I added to make it not on a grid, but yeah, it was not it. I would also like to say thank y'all so much for all the support that y'all showed. My last episode, actually, you guys have almost hit 1,000, like, we're on our way to 1,000 views on that episode. And I can't believe it. That's just incredible to me. And I am absolutely in love with the idea of making more of these for you guys. I really just wanted to... I'm so like flabbergasted, but like, I can't believe that my videos are actually going this far. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought that, and I'll probably be doing this again once we get more followers and more viewers, but I cannot believe how far my channel's come in just a couple months. And I know that these past couple weeks have been really lacking. I've been really busy getting ready for Christmas and working and doing all that kind of stuff. But I promise you, I am trying. I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to get these videos out for you guys. They may not be on our normally scheduled program, but they will be coming out. I promise. I think the hardest portion of this build for me was the pathways. Like, I could not get the paths to line up the way that I needed them to. I could not get them to cover the whole floor so that all of the people, like all of the visitors, could just walk through and see all the creatures, and the floor to cover the paths so it didn't look so ugly. Just was it was a process in itself. But I am and then I learned that I could take the curb off of these, and it was like a game changer. I don't think y'all understand how much of a game changer this was to be able to take the curb off of the flooring. And here I am realizing that I should have added the floor to all the buildings so then I could just copy and paste it. But then you'll see where the next issue comes in when I finally put the exhibits in. It didn't work out at all. I thought I was being really smart, and I thought that I was, making my life a little bit simpler. Was not at all, because the flooring got in the way, and I couldn't make the exhibits line up to the path because of it, which was kind of dumb, but it's okay, it's fine. We eventually moved past this, and we finally got it to how it needed to be. And I thought this was gonna work, but it didn't. Here I am. I am putting I started off with one of every of the bug species that Planet Zoo has, just so I could know how many exhibits I needed to put in this building. Because like I said, I'm only doing the bugs in this one. The next one's going to be amphibians, and another one's going to be snakes. But for right now, bugs. And then I could not figure out where the exhibits were, like in the construction portion of it. So, yeah. It's a whole work. And then you see, here I am going through and getting rid of all the pathing that or the floors that I just put down, because I thought that the floors were the issue. Should have just kept the floors and got rid of the path. That would have been so much simpler. But no, I made it so much more difficult on myself. Go Allie. That's what I always do. And the pathing just, I hate paths. Hate them. but eventually I got it sorted, kind of, sorta. This was a whole thing because my camera kept putting me through the ceiling. I was getting frustrated with it, but again, I really liked the way that I was able to put these exhibits around in a circle like this and fill up all the walls of the exhibits, or all the walls of the building. And then here I am counting how many exhibits I needed. I needed 12, and I had enough room for 13, I think. So 12 was perfect. I wanted to go for a building that was kind of semi-dark, but also like a tropical theme. So once you guys see me decorating the inside, you'll see that I add a bunch of tropical plants or semi-tropical plants. I just wanted it to kind of flow and have its own theme, especially since I haven't really had a theme anywhere else to begin with. So this turned out pretty okay. Here I am just checking to see how many exhibits I had, and then messing up the pathing for a third time. And I know this, listen, I cut out, this looks painful, but when I tell you I cut out like 80% of all of this, so y'all didn't have to see it, you guys better be thankful, because it just did not work out. I finally got wise to what I needed to do. So here I am just going around in a circle, connecting everything to make a circle, kind of. I still was messing around with it. I couldn't figure it out. The pathing was actually lagging my game, surprisingly, because I was trying to get it to go in angles that it wasn't naturally supposed to go, which made things very difficult. And here I am just trying to cover up what my mistakes were, but it was not working because for some reason the paths were like, the building was off center or whatever. I don't know what the issue was here. I don't know what was going on. So I ended up just deleting everything that I had just done. And I do fix it and cover up these mistakes on the pathing. And I make the paths a little bit smoother, going around in a circle, so there's less like empty space where the visitors can see, like, go up to the cages, which I was very thankful for. I was gonna watch a tutorial, but you see, I was not very smart nor willing to do that right away, so that didn't happen. But here I am covering up the floor. Thankfully, this was the hardest part. One of the hardest parts. Actually, no, I lied. This was probably one of the easier parts, covering everything up, because you don't even see the edges anyway once I'm done. Now I am putting in the detail of how I wanted the building to look, and I wanted to have these volcanic dark rocks in here to make the building kind of look dark and mysterious, and you know, a place where you would expect bugs to be. And I think it added some really nice detail to it. And I think it turned out pretty good. And I enjoyed playing around with the rocks and making them kind of fill in all the blank spaces. I realized that all of my exhibits needed power, so I was gonna put a solar panel behind it, power everything. And don't worry, I will spruce all this up again later. I just wanted to get it basically put down so I didn't have to worry about it. And I tried to make each rock individually placed, so then it looked a little bit more natural and looked like these exhibits were coming out of the rock work. And I think I did a pretty good job. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I did enjoy this part of the build. Now we get to the plants, and I really didn't know what kind of plants I wanted, but I know I wanted a lot of green tropical-ish plants. So I went with lots of ferns. I did lots of ferns and elephant ear plants, just because I think those looked really good. And they kind of filled in the space a little bit and made it seem... Oh, I also used these bromeliads because they're just... You can't tell me those aren't beautiful. Like, they just look amazing. Then the elephant ears, those are beautiful too. And I wanted to try something kind of new, and I was making it look like mushrooms were growing on these rocks, which was actually super fun to put down and actually turned out really well in my opinion. Would love to hear what y'all think, because that was actually my favorite part of just having the little mushrooms. It made it feel more foresty, more tropical, that kind of stuff. So while I was building this, I was thinking of the next next reptile I wanted to add in our reptile zoo, and I was thinking of possibly doing another crocodilian or alligator species. And I just haven't decided entirely what species I wanted to do, because there's so many. I mean, way too many. Because I'm not at the point where I want to put the turtle and tortoise walkthrough area yet, because I want that to be a big thing and I want it to be its own thing. And I want it to not be super close to the front of the zoo, but at the same time I don't want it to be super far away. So when we get there, it'll be a lot nicer. But I'm thinking, right, we could possibly do the American alligator or the saltwater crocodile. But I would love to hear y'all's opinion. What do you guys think? Would you guys want a crocodile species or a lizard species? Because we also have the Komodo dragon that we could do, or I believe there's a couple other ones, I think. Maybe not. I think the other ones are exhibit species, but either way, let me know, because I'd happily build another exhibit building and put like all the exhibit lizards and things like that inside, but then you guys will just have to let me know what you think. And here I was just looking and seeing what it would look like from the outside. And I wanted to add some planters on top because, I don't know, you guys see how some of my first two ever enclosures had the planters on top of the viewing area. And I think that turned out really good. So I just kind of added that as a little feature. Just adding a border to all of the exhibits because I didn't want it to look like just dirt set on top of the middle, just because I felt like that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Plus I wanted it to match the rocks around it. This is actually coming up is one of my favorite parts that I built, and it was actually a lot of fun. Like, I added these vines that come up and start to like stretch across the enclosures or the exhibits, and that was just I loved it. I enjoyed that little detail because I feel like it tied them all together in a way, almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make it look like they were just cubes sitting in the middle of a room. And it probably looked a little funny. It probably looks a little funny, but at the end, you'll see that it still just looks good, in my opinion. I think it looked really good, and I think it turned out really good at the end once I finished planting everything on top. And I think the actual interior turned out pretty nice, especially when all the exhibits were lit up with all of the different bugs and things like that. I think everything just melded together really, really well. And here I am planting everything. I was gonna add some color, but I just felt like it was not needed. And I'm just using a mix of all the plants that I used on the rocks. And I do the same thing on the outside of the building as well, just because I wanted it to kind of flow and look similar. When I added all of these exhibit creatures, I went from at one end I started with the scorpions, then I went to the tarantulas, to the beetles, and then the different odds and ends creatures like this. There's a snail and a praying mantis and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted it to I kind of wanted to flow with the same species being right next to each other. And watching the exhibits fill up with the decorations and stuff just made me so happy. That's my favorite thing, is decorating the enclosures and stuff like that. So watching it decorate in front of me just made it all kind of tied together, and it made me really happy. I was just trying to make sure that all of the exhibits were named and all their temperatures and humidities were correct, and they had the optimal enrichment items to make sure that they were all super happy, even though I couldn't really decorate them myself. But it really didn't bother me either way, because I think they look great. I probably wouldn't have had the patience to put each individual little decoration inside. And here I am just going around blacking out all the sides besides the front, because it just didn't look very nice with being able to see the back wall through the habitat. And I wanted to put benches on the ground, but they kept snapping to the janky little pathing that I put underneath, so I just gave up and figured it would just be a big open area. And here I am adding the rock work on the outside, which again was one of my favorite parts. It's so satisfying to be able to put the rocks down the way that they need to be put down, and to design like different little landscapes. And I'm using the same volcanic rock as I do on the inside, just so that everything kind of ties and flows together. My goal and plan with this is to kind of, in a way, show how my building has improved from start to end of the zoo build. And I can kind of see it a little bit, because I've been doing so much research, watching other YouTubers like Delaney Designer and Caesar Creates, and several more that I feel like I'm gonna like get this down one day and I'm just gonna create something so amazingly brilliant that it's just gonna blow everyone's mind. And like, here I am back with these little decal letters because they just look so good. And I wanted to, I know the zoo is probably not going to be open during the night, but I wanted to have little spotlights going around to make it look like it would shine on the sign. You know what I'm saying? What I did here, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, if I wanted to make it a picnic area or if I wanted it to just be kind of like just an empty space. But I did want to kind of separate this area with bushes and stuff like that just because it's kind of a new area, a separate area. And because after this building, it's going to lead to hopefully the butterfly exhibit, which I actually am hoping to get that DLC for Christmas, but we'll find out. And I decided that I didn't really like that this was a picnic area because it wasn't really close to the food, and it didn't make sense. So I decided that I wanted to make a playground, and I definitely could not build it. So I went to the Steam Workshop and I found this amazing blueprint, which I will have linked in the description. But I think it added a beautiful flair. I just want to say thank you guys so much for showing so much support to my channel. I'm so very happy that you guys are all here and have been supporting me. I am really enjoying this series, plus the other series that I have going on my Minecraft. And I would like to say if you would love to see more episodes of me building in our zoo and making some really fantastic builds and seeing all the reptiles that this game has to offer. Hopefully they'll add some new ones at some point, but we'll see. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!